All right, let's walk through security capabilities that AWS provides, keeping the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, CLFC02, exam firmly in mind. I'll explain this the way I would in a classroom, clear, practical, and focused on what really matters for the exam and for real-world understanding. Security capabilities that AWS provides. When we talk about AWS security, it's important to understand that AWS doesn't rely on a single tool or service. Instead, AWS delivers a layered security model where multiple services work together to protect identities, infrastructure, data, and compliance requirements. This layered approach is exactly what the CLFC02 exam expects you to recognize. Let's break this down by category. 1. Identity and Access Management. IAM security in AWS always starts with identity. Who can access what, and under which conditions? AWS provides a rich set of identity services to control access securely. AWS Identity and Access Management IAM allows you to define users, roles, and permissions using policies. This is how you enforce least privilege, one of the most important security principles on the exam. IAM Identity Center, formerly AWS SSO, lets organizations centrally manage workforce access across multiple AWS accounts. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, adds an extra layer of protection for both root and IAM users. Amazon Cognito is designed for application users, not administrators. Think mobile apps and web applications. Amazon Verified Permissions enables fine-grained authorization using policy-based access control. For the exam, remember this key idea. AWS controls the authentication mechanisms, but customers configure who gets access and how. 2. Detection and monitoring. Once access is controlled, AWS focuses heavily on visibility and threat detection. You can't secure what you can't see. AWS provides several services that continuously monitor your environment. Amazon Guard Duty detects suspicious behavior, such as compromised credentials or unusual API activity. AWS Security Hub acts as a central dashboard that aggregates security findings from multiple AWS services. Amazon Inspector scans workloads for known vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. AWS CloudTrail records all API activity, creating an audit trail of who did what and when. Amazon Detective helps investigate security incidents by analyzing relationships between AWS resources. Amazon Security Lake centralizes security logs across accounts and regions. For the AWS exam, remember, CloudTrail is about logging activity, Guard Duty is about detecting threats, Security Hub is about centralized visibility. 3. Infrastructure protection. AWS also protects the network and application layer, helping customers defend against external attacks. Key services include Amazon VPC, which provides isolated virtual networks where customers control routing, subnets, and firewalls. AWS Shield, which protects against distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks. Shield standard is automatic. AWS WAF, a web application firewall that blocks common web exploits like SQL injection or cross-site scripting. AWS Network Firewall, which adds deeper inspection and filtering of network traffic. For the exam, understand this clearly. AWS secures the physical network. Customers configure network protections inside their VPCs. 4. Data protection. Data security is a major exam focus, especially encryption. AWS provides strong data protection capabilities. AWS Key Management Service, KMS, manages encryption keys and integrates seamlessly with most AWS services. Amazon Macy uses machine learning to identify sensitive data like PII in Amazon S3. AWS Secrets Manager securely stores and rotates credentials, API keys, and secrets. In addition, AWS services support encryption at rest, typically ISO 256. Encryption in transit is handled using TLS. Key exam takeaway: AWS provides the encryption tools, but customers decide when and how to use them. 5. Compliance and governance. Finally, AWS supports customers in meeting regulatory and compliance requirements. Important services include AWS Artifact, which provides access to AWS compliance reports such as SOFITSE, ISO PCI, and HIPAA. AWS Audit Manager, which automates evidence collection for audits. AWS Config, which tracks configuration changes and evaluates resources against compliance rules. For AWS exam, remember, AWS is compliant with many standards. Customers are responsible for ensuring their workloads are compliant. If you remember just one thing from this section, remember this. AWS provides powerful, built-in security capabilities across identity, monitoring, infrastructure, data, and compliance, but customers must configure and use them correctly. That balance between what AWS provides and what the customer configures is at the heart of both the shared responsibility model and the cloud practitioner exam. This understanding alone will help you eliminate many wrong answers on exam questions and build safer architectures in the real world. All right, so at this point, go ahead and pause the video. Take a moment to read the question carefully and try to answer it on your own. Once you've made your choice, resume the video. Next, I'll walk you through a few clues to help you identify the correct answer. Let's break this question down step by step. Clues to guide you. Focus on threat detection, not prevention or access control. The question mentions analyzing logs, specifically VPC flow logs, DNS logs, and CloudTrail events. Think about a service that continuously monitors these data sources and automatically detects suspicious or malicious behavior. Eliminate services that block traffic, firewalls, aggregate findings from other tools, or protect applications at the edge. The correct answer is Amazon Guard Duty. Amazon Guard Duty is AWS's managed threat detection service. It continuously analyzes VPC flow logs, DNS logs, and CloudTrail events using machine learning and threat intelligence to identify suspicious or malicious activity. Why the others are not correct. AWS WAF focuses on blocking web attacks, not analyzing logs. AWS Security Hub aggregates findings, but does not perform raw threat detection. AWS Network Firewall inspects and filters traffic, but it doesn't analyze CloudTrail or DNS logs for threats. So whenever you see automated threat detection plus VPC flow logs plus DNS plus CloudTrail, think Amazon Guard Duty. Thank you for watching. See you in the next class.